Good evening. I will call the Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 school committee meeting to order. Student Representative Cordelia Kane is excused. All other members are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a series of presentations tonight, beginning with a very exciting one from Blizzard Winds, Biddeford High School Band Performance.
What? You can go up. Do you want to say anything? Perfect. Hi, how you doing? My name is Michael Murphy. I'm the band director here at Biddeford High School, and before you is the Blizzard Winds. Thanks. I need to pause it. Sorry. One of 5 of the ensembles we have in under the banner of the Building Arts. Oop, I cut out. Am I good? This is a winter marching activity. We've been performing NESBA circuit and the Maine Band Directors Association circuit. And our show this year is called The Exhibition. I don't know, Doug. I'll stay centered. Just try this. It's kind of a night at the museum theme. And it's that's hence the costumes. They are the art that comes to life. But before that, Mr. Will Martin back there has been doing a lot of work with this ensemble. He's the big mover and shaker here. He did an arrangement of the Star Spangled Banner that I thought you should hear. More people need to hear it because it's beautiful. So this, with no further ado, this is the Star Spangled Banner by Blizzard Winds.
Check, 1, 2. Okay. My name is Will Martin. I'm the assistant director of Blizzard Winds. I do a lot of the arrangements that they do. I prepare a lot of the materials that they have, and I'm there with them in rehearsal on a day-to-day basis. I'm also an educational technician here at Biddeford High School in our FLS program. So love Biddeford. And, I'm really finding a great home here. These guys are incredibly talented. Mike had mentioned that they are competing in 2 circuits this year. They are the only group of their kind in the state of Maine. We received a gold medal at the Maine Band Directors Association on March the 28th. So we were one of the top scoring groups at that competition. And this past weekend, we just finished our regular season. We have our New England finals coming up on Saturday. And they've gotten some really cool accolades this season. It's the first year that we've gotten a score over 90 on the 1 to 100 scale in New England. So we've broken 90 this year, which is a really cool feat. This is only our 4th season existing. So some of you might have seen us grow up a little bit. 3 years ago, we were only 8 wind players on the floor strong, and you have 27 before you today. So it's very cool, but representing a couple school districts, Biddeford, Saco. Raise your hand if you're from Saco. Yeah, raise your hand if you're from Old Orchard Beach. Yeah, and then raise your hand if you're from Biddeford. Woo! What else was I going to say about that? Oh, we're ranked first going into finals also. So with our 90.9 from this past weekend, we're seeded first going into this week's final competition. So we're hoping to bring home a banner for the great city of Biddeford. And the next thing we're going to play for you is our theme song. It's a little bit of an anthem for us. It's a chorale, started as a chorale warm up, and it's became something that I brought back every year. So in the very last phrase and the first phrase that you're going to hear is our senior class. We have 5 seniors. Raise your hand if you're a senior this year. So those 5 are going to be playing for you in the very beginning and the very end. So it's kind of a special, you kind of grow up into that role. So when you get to your senior year, you get to play something special at the end. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting choky. I just, it's in their hands. I don't want to see them go. And this is kind of our theme song. It's called Salvation is Created. It's an old Eastern European hymn song, but it's kind of taken on a different meaning here. It's a powerful piece of music. And yeah, Salvation is Created.
One last thing for you. We'll play the show that we've been working on all season. It's about 5 minutes worth of music. When you hear this, imagine that they're all going to be moving. We couldn't do the show moving. My PR person. And we're going to perform it in front of the school and staff on Friday at 2:15. So please, if you're available, come see us. It's really amazing to see a move and play what you're going to hear in just 1 second. Thank you for having us. We really, really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon, I hope. Sorry, one more thing. This activity includes a backing track, so there's a backing track that's played behind the music as they're performing. So I'm going to start the track.
Okay, I was trying.
Yes, I love that. That's a good idea. Okay, good deal. Definitely. Then we get, Deanna can get it on the Facebook
That
page.
was so beautiful.
That's true.
I'm one of those people, like, I listen to, like, opera or whatever, and I cry. Like, Bocelli, I cry. I cry. Oh, it just brings, like, it cuts right through me. Oh, beautiful. Love that. Well, they can do it and play like that. Wow, they're moving. That was fabulous.
Is it all freedom?
I don't know the answer to that. We'll get Martha to come up during. All three. Okay.
No color guard.
Check, check.
You're ready? You're all set? Yep.
That is going to be a really hard act to follow. I do have cute pictures. I don't want those to go yet, though. So I don't know if I timed this or not. Did I? Can we pause? Yeah. Okay, great. Hi, my name is Rebecca Cody. I am the director of the Blast After School program. And I wanted to thank you all for having me come and present to you a little bit about the program. Mayor LaFontaine, thank you, Superintendent Ray, and the school board. And I'm going to start, I know some of you do know the program a little bit, and some are a little bit maybe not as familiar with it. So I'm going to start a little bit by going over just kind of a quick overview. And it's Learning Works is the kind of physical sponsor as well as a nonprofit organization that, sorry, that, okay. So they have been working with professional, or excuse me, positive youth development through educational offerings over the last 25 years. So they offer 3 main programs, the Learning Works After School program, which is what this is. Sorry, I'm having a little end slow use slide. Can I just stop these? Because I do want to speak to those a little bit. But that's okay, we'll go back if we need to. So the focus of the program is developing alternative and supplemental education program for Maine youth. And the mission, equipping students with the confidence and skills to realize their full potential. So that's kind of the overarching goal that Learning Works has. And BLAST in particular is part of the after-school program that is funded through a 21st Century Learning Grant, which is the only federal funded after-school program in the country. And it's also kind of, we've been advocating or just kind of raising awareness around what the program is for a lot of people, and asking people to kind of share that forward with our state reps, just saying that what a great benefit it is. So the partnership that we have with Biddeford Schools, we have established this partnership, I think, in 2012. And so it's been around for a little while, and I am like probably the third or fourth director. I've been at it for 4 years now, and prior to this, I was a site coordinator. And the core premise of the program is academic improvement. So that's kind of what we do for the kids, is all of the students are a little below grade level. They have to be at 50 percentile, and we gauge that through the NWAs mainly, and teacher surveys. So we do the academic improvement through academic enrichment. So a lot of the programs that we have, we align with the school day, and we kind of set up everything so that when we offer our STEM units, whether it is in ecology or the moon or rockets or anything like that, we can embed their school day, what is going on in the school day. So whether it's fractions or even just half and quarter for kindergartens, and then all the way up into fractions for our 3rd and 4th graders. And we also really embed a lot of literacy in this as well. And so those are kind of the 2 main goals, basically based on the NWAs. The partnership with Biddeford Schools kind of allows us, they offer financial support for the organization for us to be able to offer this program. They supply programming space, I should say and reduce cost of transportation, administrative access for data and things, so that we can actually report back to the state and saying what our findings are and how well the kids are improving. And all of the other reports that we do. We also have teacher access for student referrals, because it is a free program for the kids, and it's based on academic improvement and achievement. We get direct referrals from the teaching staff. So we kind of do a presentation with them at the beginning of the school year, kind of what is a good BLAST student, who's going to be a good fit for the program, because we have a really great ratio. It's only 1 teacher to 8 students, so we can really focus in on that. And it's in school year, it's only 2 hours that we have them. We also get IT assistance, which is really a benefit. So on Learning Works part, we hire, supervise, and we train all the staff. We provide all the programming for the students. Everything is all of our STEM units are science standard based. We manage all of the programs, the implementation, reporting. We secure supplemental funding. We also develop partnerships, which is a really huge piece of the program and really helps build the quality of it. This year, Michelle is on our advisory board, and we had another person, Holly Culleton from Biddeford Community Gardens. We got together and built our sustainability plan, because what's super important to understand is that every year the grant award goes down. So, and also because of things, you know, you never know what we're going to get year after year. We really want to try and sustain the program and the quality of the program to the best of our ability. So we build out like our partner support. UNE is a really huge partner. We get interns, volunteers, and also programming from them. Biddeford Community Gardens offers program, even Andy's Agway programming for the kids. And so it really kind of helps build a really robust program and brings our kids into the community and the community out into our kids, for our kids. We just submitted another 4-year grant cycle for the 3rd and 4th grade at the intermediate school. So we're kind of changing, extending our focus a little bit to also not just have that socio-emotional development, but nourishing those transferable skills and creating these career connections. So there is, we had the weather lady come in. I can't remember her name. Jessica. Anyways, she came in and she gave the kids like how to forecast weather, and it was a big presentation. And then the students went and they learned to do their own. This is the career connection. They did their own weather reports. So they learned about the weather, they learned about forecasting, and then they made scripts and they recorded each other. And that was in 3rd and 4th grade. This is an enrichment experience through Chewonki Foundation. They came and give a talk. So we have some kind of, we allocate funding every year for those extra activities for them to come in. And one thing that I really appreciate of the program, it is 21st century community learning centers. So we build a community for the kids and they really feel belonging there. So I think it's just super important and it helps them learn. They're learning together and they're learning as a group. And they are blast kids and they really love that. And it really helps them engage. And when we, you know, trying to create a love of learning, they really do love it. Except, you know, if you ask them, they're all like, what's your favorite part about blast? They're like, recess. So some of these slides are a lot of like, we do some of the grant goals are STEM, of course, and academic enrichment. We have multicultural visual performing arts. We do, so we have drama clubs, art clubs, book clubs, get them to love learning. Our professional development is, this year we partnered with Maine Math and Science Alliance to really help the staff think about how they're presenting the, I'll just go back and put some more of these slides up. How they're presenting the unit and trying to get the kids to really think more in depth and be more engaged by asking them really purposeful questions. So that was a really great, and we did that throughout the year. So that was a full practice. She introduced it in the fall, and then we practiced. We had teachers video themselves, and then went back in and kind of critiqued and found out like where we could actually build some strength with our staff. And then we also partnered with Mill Studio Arts. Amy Goodness, she came in and did a big art integration piece with the kids because we always know, like especially with the young ones, that is a really great point of entry right there. So, and then also another really big piece of the program is that family engagement. We have all of the grant goals of the STEM, physical activity, nutrition, safety is another one. But family education and family engagement I find really important. And we're partnering right now, we built a partnership with Biddeford Adult Ed and Julie Bayruby to offer family literacy nights. And so she came in for our last family engagement. We had a really engaging, that's one thing, you know, we want to be able to educate and engage them at the same time and not just hand them like, oh, here's some community resources, because you really want them to be engaged in the program and really know that they're getting a lot out of it, and they actually have to contribute as well to make it, you know, a full rounded out program. So Julie Bray Ruby came in and we had her as a table, and then each one of the grades created their own activity that every 15 minutes, so everybody would circle around and go to the next activity. So the kids actually got to teach their parents how to do things, and the parents could see how engaged they were in learning, and that really helps. So kind of in a nutshell, that is the BLAST program. If anybody has any questions, I'd love to share the sustainability plan with you all. We worked really hard on it, and I really want to thank Michelle for a lot of great input with that. And I think that's about it in a nutshell. I don't want to run over too much of your time. I know you have other things to do.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to visit some of the BLAST programs at least twice, and you guys do an excellent job. So I want to
Yeah.
thank you. for
Thank you.
that.
And that's another, so we have listed Biddeford City, the city of Biddeford, as one of our partners as well, because the kids get to go there. They get a tour of City Hall. They get to sit in the council chambers, and we've actually done like a little mock council session with them, and it's really awesome. So it's a really great learning community, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah.
I will say, my oldest son participated in BLAST for as long as he could and was devastated when he couldn't be a BLAST kid anymore.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of the enrichment that he had in terms of his education, absolutely, but the confidence and then just the
Nice.
ability to try new things that he never would have been exposed to. He sewed puppets, he made things out of recycled materials, like music, just, it was just such a life-changing program, honestly.
That is awesome. It's really great to hear.
Right. And so I just wanted to give you that great feedback. And you also do it through the summer still?
Yes,
or-
we do
yeah,
through summer. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
do 6
So-
weeks in the summer as well.
Yeah.
So
just
we're
what
here
an
gearing up
amazing
for that.
resource.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really proud to work with the program and the kids, and I've been in the district since 2018. Yeah, so it's a great family and a great community to be involved with. So I appreciate all of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions for Rebecca? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
That brings us to item E, adjustments to the agenda. There are none. So item F, approval of our last meeting minutes from March 25th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Amy, second by Marie. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Consent agenda. We have some stipends and a resignation from Catherine McTaggart, a Biddeford primary school teacher, to retirement.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Amy, second by Marie. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you. Takes us to item H, superintendent's report.
All right, good evening, everybody. After the start to this meeting, we can only mess it up moving forward because it's been so great. So we're going to do our best not to. I had something about the blizzard winds and blackout, but I think they kind of handled all of the information that you needed just by listening to them. But I do want to mention that while we have a newly formed blizzard colored guard and blackout B percussion that is 5th, 6th, and 7th graders at BMS. They brought home a silver medal, and this is their first year of that. I also think that when we talk about our colored guard and we talk about our performances, that number of 90 plus is the top rank in the area. That's a big deal. So if you can make it over on Friday at 2:15, it is a show that is just worth seeing. But I also it's easy to talk about the wonderful job that our students are doing because we see that. But I think that we have to look at what Mike Murphy and his group does, because when the school committee kind of made that decision with the BEF to bring back marching band, we had a decision to make, and we made that decision. We were going to focus on that. But we hired the most incredible individual to do that. That's not, the students are part of it, but it's also the leadership that he's provided in the group of people that you don't get that many kids unless they're really excited about the adults that are working with them. So, Mike, I hope you're listening. For you, your family, and all the support there. Pretty impressive stuff. I want to congratulate all of our Odyssey of the Mind teams that competed in the States this past weekend. Both the BIS performance team and the BMN technical team were named world finalists after placing second at the state tournaments, and will move on to compete in the world finals in Iowa in May. I encourage parents and family to attend the K-12 Odyssey of the Mind team's encore performance Friday, April 10th from 6 to 7:30 at BHS Little Theater if you can make that. I want to congratulate Biddeford Senior High School Katerina De La Torre, who was selected as the high school's principal award recipient. Recognized both for academic excellence and citizenship. She's ranked 7th in her class. She's known for not only her strong academic performance, but also her kindness and leadership. She's a wonderful representative for BHS, and we congratulate her on this well-deserved honor. You've probably seen a capital campaign that's out there, as we're excited to announce the campaign to renovate the Don Wilson Memorial Fitness Center at BHS. The fitness center is, it's hard to think that sometimes you're 14 years old. Things start to show a little bit of wear and tear. Mr. Wilson was a beloved Biddeford educator who served our school for 37 years in many different roles. And our goal is to update and transfer the space into a modern, inclusive hub designed for student athletes, PE classes, focus on health and recovery, a place for our staff where they can go. And really, as we think about our athletic training component that's down there, that's really a level of healthcare for our students. And so that's an important piece. And then the last piece would be just a reminder to everybody that next week, later in the week, we start our April vacation. And so we will be out of school. Let's hope that our weather around here helps us lead into vacation, because seeing snow yesterday out the window was not like a good feeling. So thank you, and happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent? Marie?
Not a question. I just want to once again say how many good things are going on within the district, not only within the daily academic walls and hours of the day, but in our extracurriculars. And the pieces we just heard were amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, is it Mr. Martin, who's in ed tech with us, who created the piece, the arrangement at the beginning? My God. I mean, for someone to be putting in that kind of time, and again, kudos to our staff and our kids, but again, so much good going on. Keep your eyes and ears open, get involved. And I'm just so happy to have seen that and their continued successes, along with Odyssey of the Mind. We've had tremendous success, with that programming, going to Worlds, placing within the state, New England's, what have you. And again, just tremendous amount of success in a lot of activities that we offer. And thank God we offered those activities to our kids. So job well done.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to the student representative reports, beginning with Marcus Perkins.
The 30th, our outdoor season started for all of our sports. Blizzard Winds and Blackout Percussion have their competition on Saturday. The Biddeford High School Be the Change team is having a craft fair May 2nd in the Tiger Gym. So if you know anybody crafty and has a bunch of stuff, have them email Heather Tremblay and they can have a booth. That's all from me.
Thank you, Marcus. Any questions for Marcus? Amy?
Marcus, I read to a second grade class recently, and I was told by a tiny person that they were your little sister, and she's awful proud of you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Amy. I think your sister shared the same thing with me as well
She,
when I read.
she tells me all the stories. Oh, I met this person today. I met this person today, and they knew you too. And I was like, I know. I get to see them every 2 weeks.
You can make that 3 people that happen to.
Deal. That was a really well done event. That I think it was Mrs. Palladino's class. Yeah, they did a nice job. That brings us to committee reports. Seeing none, old business, of which there is none, on to new business, starting with a budget update.
Okay, just a little bit about the budget of where we are at this point. We really hope to have a number, final number locked in on Friday because there's been a couple of switches. One being our health insurance rates were 884, which I would have liked a little bit better, but certainly it's better than 10%. So we have to look at that adjustment. We are looking at, obviously, as you continue to comb through a budget that's big, you do find a little things that needed to be added and subtracted throughout that budget. Paulette and I have had a conversation about the possibility of pausing the digital media course for 1 year. We have 2 enrolled, Paulette. We have 2 enrolled, and we want to make sure everything's successful, so we have the ability to hit the pause button. It looks like we have good numbers in our small engine that's starting, and so maybe we just need to take a little bit more time and put our promotional package so people understand and kiddos understand what it is and pull that in next year. Additionally, we were very fortunate, and we talked during the budget cycle at the end on the state level. We were able to work with a bunch of different organizations and communities, and I've got about another $203,000 in additional subsidy coming our way for schools who are 40% free and reduced lunch, so that will add into a factor. We have the final subsidy numbers for adult education, so we've kind of got the overall guess is the budget's going to go down just a little bit. My guess is only probably when it all shakes out, it'll be about $100,000 plus or minus downward. And so I hope by Friday to have that to you. We had first reading of the budget last night not first reading, first public hearing last night. Next Tuesday night is second public hearing, where the public can come out and talk about those things, and we'll just continue to refine over that. One of the things that I don't know if I have enough of them here, but what I'll do is I'll add it to the agenda, is during Finance Committee tonight, we did go through and look at what some of our capital projects would be. Univents which are your heating systems at BIS is a big one. Looking to have gym floors refinished. The middle school one is in pretty rough shape, and the floors at the high school and at BIS, even when you clean them down, they're at that life of where it's pretty slippery. So thinking about how we come in all at one time and get those improved, thinking about some more painting. Our BMS stage needs painting done. One of the things that Bill's crew has been doing a lot of is, as we transition some of the spaces for different uses, putting in epoxy floors instead of putting back tile. And that's worked really well, but we've been renting the equipment, and then you rent the equipment and something else comes up. We would like to basically a quote for one floor. We can buy the machine, do it ourselves. And so we'd like to have that on hand all the time. Looking at how this campus in general is seen and do some improvements to the outside. One of the things we've talked about is just for any of you who've been to Sanford High School and you drive down and you see the wonderful banners they have on the lights, just kind of bring a little more color to the outside of this and improvements. Because again, 14 years old, you start to notice those things, and we want to keep up on those. convert all the lighting in Tiger Gym. There's some lights out and making sure those are LED. Looking at the BMS kitchen is used year round. That's where we run summer food out of, and making sure that that is climate controlled a little in the kitchen, because last summer it was unbearable for the ladies who were in there. Knowing that with the improvement that's going on at Biddeford Primary School, making sure that we have enough money to improve the playground behind the school as the project winds up. We have some parking lot concerns behind the high school that need to be fixed. And then we've really been trying to put $20,000 to $25,000 a year into annual parking lot maintenance by getting crack fills and doing those pieces. You just extend the life. So we're trying to keep like a amount that we do every year to stay on top of those things. That also leaves us, if 700,000 is the number in capital, that will leave us 133 for unexpected things that could come up over the course of the year. And then we kind of have a plan and a projection of what the long-term costs are. I do think that we will have, I'm hoping $125,000 left in the BIS contingency piece, which then we could think about that playground piece. We really would like to have, as part of the plan that we've kind of held off on until the end, was having an electronic sign on that side of town. We don't have, that's kind of like the gateway to the three schools, and it's wired. But having the ability for Scott to put a performance at the middle school on out there, when we looked at all the places and where electricity was the easiest for us to do, it made the most sense to do it with that construction project. And then also looking at playground, electronic signs, and then the lobby bathrooms over there need a little bit of spiffing up. And so that would, hopefully that will be there. And then we would plan for, Bill had roofs checked out, and we will probably put in revolving renovation replacement applications next fall for BIS, BPS, and COT. Those were kind of all built, the BIS and BPS are kind of like 40-year roofs, and you're getting to that piece. Maybe we can change the color a little bit on that roof. Teal. Teal, you think teal still, or a little lighter teal? But we'd put those in as more of a long-term piece, and hopefully get some state funding for that piece.
Questions for the superintendent on the FY27 budget? Seeing none, will bring us to approval of the performance evaluation and professional growth plan.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Amy, second by Marie. Any questions or comments from the committee? Tim?
Yes, just one question on it. Actually, a couple of questions, but they're the same question, if you will. Looking through the plan itself, I'm wondering, there were some questions in there that were highlighted. Do they need to be answered by the school committee, or is that going to be answered by the committee that was formed to put this together?
To the meeting with the PEPG steering committee. So as part of the process, those questions have been answered. And so what you're seeing is the draft version. Those will all come out when we finalize it. You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you. I think we have 3 school committee members serving on that evaluation committee as well, so thanks for volunteering. Premature Thanksgiving. Brings us to the first reading of an overnight field trip, Odyssey of the Mind World Finals, May 26th.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you. Takes us to the public participation portion of the meeting, a 3-minute limit for any item. Seeing none, any communications from school committee members? Marie?
I attended a PI meeting this past Monday at Biddeford High School. What a very productive meeting we had. And they're going to be having, it's the first Monday in May. What's that date? We're looking to bring a friend to this particular meeting to 4th. So May 4th, there's going to be, we're going to have a pizza pie meeting. So there's always pie and always goodies at this meeting. And we're going to be doing pizza pies that particular evening and looking for members who frequently attend to bring a friend, and also for anyone out there. And again, I'm encouraging parents to, step up and be part of this. This is a place where you can engage with staff and administration and have a say into, what's going on and what needs to be improved and what your thoughts are and what's going well and how that's working. So again, it's once a month, the first Monday of the month. And I highly encourage, and it's for students as well. It's students and parents. So I'd like to see more people, get engaged from our student and parent end. And again, they're doing great work, coming up with great solutions. So again, thank you for another great meeting. Looking forward to that. And I believe next fall in September, we're going to open up with another pizza pie, bring a friend. We're going to kind of bookend it on the end and the start of the new school year. So again, get engaged, get engaged, get engaged.
Marie, where is that and when? What time?
It's at 6:30, and it's the first Monday of every month, and that is in the library,
The high school library?
high school library.
Okay.
This is a high school group.
Thank you, Marie. Megan, and then Emily.
I just wanted to shout out to Paulette and everyone from the COT. So the acceptance letters from the COT came out this week in terms of like kids getting into programs. And what I'm really excited about is that because the COT has grown and grown and grown, there are sophomores now that are being able to access the COT. My son's one of the sophomores that got into a COT program. That's just really exciting and really engaging. And there's several sophomores that have gotten to get engaged. But like when that day came, when the letter day came, right, the excitement, it was like Christmas. I mean, it's just everybody's texting everybody and they're so excited and it's just so engaged. And to see all these kids they're starting their lives, like they're planning their lives around the programs that they're getting into and the training, and there's been such an amazing amount of work done to kind of explain what these opportunities are. And there's been these career days and these passion days that have gotten kids to figure this out by their freshman year, so they know what they're going to apply for. And it's an amazing thing to watch. This is my 8th child that's gone through, and to see how far this has gone and see how figured out it is. And then this sophomore getting ready to start his life, knowing what he's going to do and having the opportunity to get fully trained here. It's just really cool. It's just really, really cool. So great job. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Megan. Emily?
I was one of several up here who went to the Little Inventors Expo at BPS. And aside from being just the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life, the turnout was incredible. Very, very impressive. Not just community members like us, but parents. So many parents were there. It was really lovely to see. And the creativity from the kids was so wonderful. It was Jamie Barabee put it together, but she mentioned that it was actually her teaching intern's idea. So what an incredible way to kind of incorporate new teachers. And that is probably really meaningful for that teaching intern, but it was also definitely really meaningful for the kids who got to participate. Seeing all of the stuff that got donated, random household junk got turned into really, really, really cool inventions. somebody made up a mind maker upper with 2 CDs that got clipped, so you had to pay. It was very cool to watch. So just a shout out to Jamie Barabee and everybody who had a hand in putting that together. It was really cool.
Thank you. Jeremy, and then back to Michelle.
Yeah, one of the things I just want to make sure that's on everybody's radar screen is we're going to see a state law passed on bell-to-bell cell phone. I sent an email this week to area schools and superintendents about us coming together as area schools and superintendents and principals to think a little bit more about the procedures that each school, because everyone's going to probably do things a little bit different. But I do think that a greater kind of outside of our community conversations should exist, because certainly someone's going to say, well, at Kennebunk or at Massabesic or at Biddeford, and that doesn't mean that we're locking any board into any what decision. Just trying to think about how we approach some of the, we're all going to have the same challenges with this, and how we approach them, whether it be from the bags to the not the bags or whatever that looks like, so that when we're ready to see the sample policy that comes out, we have some of the procedural stuff understood, I guess, on what other schools are doing and thinking about what has worked. And then we talked about it a little bit more today, and maybe getting some of the schools who have done the bell to bell that have had some different kind of ways of handling that to come in and maybe have a little bit of a conversation with us about what worked well for them, what didn't work well for them, what would they do differently. The legislature only put $350,000 behind this, which I believe there was still some concern on the math, but it's only like $6 a kid. And so if you're going the pouch route, that's something that we have to think about. But I want to make sure that's on everybody's kind of mind, because we're going to try to bring something a little bit regionally to think about this together, because certainly we'll be compared, and want some greater thought. Megan?
So I'm in a school that does bell to bell now, and we did it at no cost. And what I can just say is it's gone really well, and it's completely different to work in a school with bell to bell cell phone ban, and I could not go back. So it can be done. It can be done really successfully, and I've had more student engagement this year than I've had in the last decade of being in a school. So it's been, and lunches are a completely different experience. You can walk down a hallway without getting run into because people are looking up. It's really nice. There's just like a lot of benefit so far. I know people get really anxious, but it's been done and everybody's okay. And we've gone into lockdowns and everybody's still been okay. So I just, want to say it's been done and it's fine.
And one of the things that I think that at least is a wondering for me is that while locals have made decisions about it in each district of what they were going to do, what the response will be when it becomes a statewide piece, and what expectations will be there, versus like, well, this is a local thing and they've done it, versus, well, this is mandated by the states. How will that play out in the public with kids and with others? And that's why I feel all of our experiences collectively in the area might put us into a better place as we all experience the fall in a different way.
Yeah, one thing that I've been hearing a lot about actually is the bell to bell ban, and I received a lot of reach out from the moms I know, kind of a multi-age group of moms, and it just happens to be moms. I'm sure all parents are thinking about this, but There's a town in Ireland that's about the same size as us. It's called Greystones, Ireland. It's 22,000 people. And the parents banded together to do that Jonathan Haidt idea of like, let's just all not buy smartphones for these kids until they're 16. And talking to parents whose kids are older than mine, that is an extremely hard thing to do if the community isn't bought in. But this seems like a great opportunity, like as we implement this, to try and help parents see like it's okay. Like we can all find a workaround to this together. If the school can work around it, parents can work around it. So I hope that we think about it in kind of a universal way too.
I think it's, nationally there's the wait till 8 movement. Well, let me tell you, I'm talking 8th grade. Yeah. Well, if you've got kids that's a hard thing to do right now. I'll say we did better with the first one than we did with the second one.
Thank you. Michelle?
I just wanted to say, talk a little bit about what Emily was talking about, the little inventors. I talked to Megan Schrader while I was there and seeing all the really fun exhibits that they had. And the kids had to come up with a problem, and then they learned about prototypes and figuring out how to make a prototype to solve their problem. And then they presented these inventions, and they were just so fantastic. I saw a lot of fun ones too. One was on a little hanger that looked like a little person, and it was to scare his brother away when his brother's like bothering him. And a little girl had something that was, I think it was called something about a quick step, because she said she has to hold daddy's hand when she's not walking fast enough. He makes sure she's holding his hand, and she thought that if she has this, then she could just walk beside him and be a big girl. So lots of cute little ideas that they came up with, and using all the recycling. It brought me back to when my kids would raid the recycling bin and make leprechaun traps and other little fun things. So really fun to see all their great ideas, how creative they were. And I think there were 4 BPS classes all involved. So thank you to the teachers. And I didn't even realize that the student intern had come up with it, but fantastic idea. The kids look forward to it, I think. And this was my second one, so I really look forward to seeing all of their inventions. So great job.
Thank you. Any other communications? I would just share another appreciation for the Center of Technology and the cuisine that they provided for us at last Wednesday's school committee, city council budget meeting. It was really well done. So thank you to Director Bono, chef, and her team, and the students as well for all that they provided. Not just the quality of the food, but the presentation and the atmosphere they created within the space. So I want to thank them all for that. And then also, I know we're talking a lot about legislative work right now, and in addition to a lot of bills being passed into law, we had a nomination, I believe, for Director Bono to be reappointed to the Maine State Board of Education. So I wanted to congratulate her on that and thank her for serving in that position as well. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Amy, second by Marie. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you.